Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Today I'm going to continue on with the university advice videos that I started the year before last. Today I'm going to be giving advice on what I think you should be taking to university. Now, I constructed this list kind of based on what I think you'd need if you were moving into halls, but as you will see if you watch the video, lots of the things can be applied even if you're not living in halls of residence. They're just general things you might need for the university experience. So hopefully this video will be useful to everyone. So if you're starting university in September, hopefully this video can help you. I've divided this video into two sections. The first section are the more obvious things that I think most of you will probably know that you need to take to uni, but you might just need reminding. And the second part of the list are the less obvious things. So I'm going to start with the most obvious and also with the most important, and that is take with you the documents that you need to register. This is definitely the most important because if you forget this, you're not actually going to start university the day that you think you are. This might include all the contracts you've signed. Sorry if I'm moving around, I'm kneeling on my knees. This might include all the contracts you've signed to live in halls. It might include photo ID. It might include stuff for your course. So make sure you have that with you on the very first day. Next things on the list are kind of the basics that you're going to need just to live, such as clothes, shoes, toiletries and bedding. Bedding's a weird one because I know at different unis they have different rules. Some people I know who went to uni weren't allowed to take their own duvets, other people had to take their own duvets, some people didn't need bedding, other people did need bedding. So make sure you actually find out. You don't want to be sleeping just on a mattress on your first night, so that's definitely something I recommend looking up before you get to uni. I recommend that when you move in, you bring snacks. The reason I say this is because if you're self-catering, you're probably not going to have a chance to do a big food shop on the first day. You don't want to be hungry, so just take some snacks. And if you are catered, then you might just get hungry. You might not like the food they serve. I think it's always good to have something for that first day because you just don't know what the situation's going to be. Next thing on the list. Now, this is something that not really any of my friends did. I don't know if it's because my dad's a pharmacist, but I always tend to be the person that has all the medicines if anyone needs medicine. But I think there's a few main things that you should always have with you. I apply this just to general day-to-day life, not just when I'm moving into university, but I always think you should have with you painkillers, cough sweets or throat sweets, anti-sickness tablets and anti-diarrhea tablets. So that way you've basically covered all the things that can ruin a day if you become unwell. If you've got those four basic things, you're going to be alright, you can get through the day, you can still have a relatively good time. So I recommend that everyone who moves into university takes those with them. Make sure you don't forget all your electrical items, particularly phone chargers, camera chargers, your laptop, your sound system, just all the stuff that is technological and gadgety that can sometimes be left behind. Maybe even write a checklist as you're packing to make sure you don't forget any of them, because it would be a bit of a bummer if you moved halfway across the country and forgot your camera, forgot your phone charger. It would be a problem, most probably. And the last thing on the obvious list is stationery, folders. Don't be that one person who forgets their pen on their first lecture. No one wants to be that person. Had to slightly reposition because my knees were starting to hurt. I haven't got my tripod, so I'm kind of improvising here. Next part of the list are the less obvious things. Okay, this is something, again, doesn't apply to all universities, I'm sure, because I'm sure not all universities have the same beds. I personally recommend you take with some storage that can fit under your bed. The wardrobes that you tend to get in halls of residence are not massive. There's not that much storage in general. I'm sure there are exceptions to this. However, from my experience, my friend's experience, the storage isn't great. So if you can get kind of a shallow thing that you can put under your bed to put your shoes in or anything like that, I'm sure that will be really useful at some point. Ditto a shoe rack. I didn't take a shoe rack and I regretted it the whole time. It was really, really obstructive to my bedroom. It wasn't the biggest room and my shoes were just kind of there. Obviously, if you don't have as many shoes as I do, this might not be a problem, but for me, I really, really wished I had a shoe rack. For Freshers Week, chances are you're going to have to be doing a lot of dressing up. I recommend you take with you face paints and things that you can use for dressing up. Maybe you'll even be able to find an itinerary before you get to uni. I knew that I was having a school disco night, so I took with clothes that I could use for a school uniform. I knew I was having a neon themed UV party, so I could take stuff for that. Face paint never occurred to me, but everyone needed face paint at some point. I think we had an army night where we wanted face paint. Halloween, everyone needs face paint. You might find that you save a bit of money if you take that with you. The area that you go to uni in might inflate the prices of these sorts of things if they know that all the students are coming to buy them. So if you can take them with you, may save some money. This is another thing that isn't going to be relevant for every single university, but it may be worth finding out before you go how much it costs to use the campus printers. I'm not even quite sure how much it was at my uni. I did a media-based course, so we were allowed to print for free. But it may work out cheaper if you take your own printer and paper, or it may work out cheaper if you use the campus facilities. So it might be something, if you're looking to save some money, that it's worth looking up beforehand. In my opinion, from a convenience point of view, it'd be nice to have your own printer. No one wants the panic of having 5 minutes to print out an essay and there being a queue. Maybe that's reason enough for you to take your own printer. It's personal choice, but definitely look into prices beforehand, because you may be able to save quite a lot of money by taking your own. This one is limited to people who are living in halls of residence. Take earplugs. Chances are, for the first couple of weeks, you're not going to care about the noise. You're going to be one of the people making the noise. You're not going to want to go to bed early. But when lectures start, if you're like me, you're going to actually want to go to bed. Chances are you're going to need earplugs. The walls in halls of residence are like paper. You can hear every horrid detail of what is going on next door, above, below. It's not always the most pleasant thing in the world. Take earplugs. Bit of a boring one next. Take a sewing kit with you. When you're a student, you can't always just afford to go and buy new clothes when you have a hole on the seam. So if you take a sewing kit and just sew it up. I was kind of the resident sewer out of all my friends. I had a friend who was really, really good at textiles, so her and me tended to be the people doing the sewing for people whenever people had holes in their jeans and stuff. I, even to this day, am constantly sewing up Stuart's jeans for him. So I would definitely take a sewing kit if I were you. You can get them in like pound shops or dollar stores, I don't know, you know, wherever you're from. I'm sure you can find a really cheap sewing kit, and they're very, very useful. The next point, if you watched my video about how to organise your lecture notes, I will link all of my previous uni videos downstairs. You will know that this is an item that I'm a bit obsessed with, and that's why I'm saving the best till last with this video. The number one thing that you should take to... I have food colouring on my finger, it's not a bruise, just thought I should tell you that. The number one thing that I think you should be taking to university with you is a hole punch. If you want to know the ins and outs of that, then watch the video below, but trust me, you will not regret it. You will be that awesome person who is lending everyone the hole punch. Take a hole punch with you. So that is the end of that video. As I said, I have many more of these. I'll link them all down below, and if you go to my channel, they're all in a playlist, so if you just want to sit and have a watch. And I'm going to be making some more. So if you are starting university in September and you think these are going to be helpful to you, then I recommend you subscribe. Some of my other videos on this subject are actually geared towards people who are going into their second or third year, so there's something for everyone. So hopefully I'll be able to help you with anything you have queries, questions about. Leave them below. If you've got a request for a video, then I'll make that. Every single video I've made since the first one has been on the request of viewers, so feel free to leave suggestions. If there's anything you'd like me to make a video about university wise, I'll do that for you. And if you'd like to email me to ask me questions more privately, it is jossie@akiojellybean.co.uk, and I will definitely reply. So thank you for watching this. I hope this is helpful to you, and I'll probably make another one of these in a couple of weeks' time. Bye!